having a graph or given certain information about it. Okay, so let's review a little bit about ellipses. Remember, there's two kinds, horizontal and vertical. The horizontal equation is x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Yes, you may. Give it a second. Brighter. Okay. Vertical ellipse is x minus h squared over b squared plus y minus k squared over a squared equals 1. Okay, A is the distance from the center to the vertices on the major axis. B is the distance from the center to the co-vertices on the minor axis. And the formula for the focus points is c squared equals a squared minus b squared, where a is larger than b. Please make sure your music is turned off so that I can't hear it. All right, now we are going to take this given graph and figure out the equation. I know it has the equation at the top, but we really have to do everything under it first. Okay, so first, what is the center of this ellipse? Good. All right, what are the vertices for the ellipse? So like, what's this point right here? 6, 0, and negative 6, 0. Let's not get our x and y's mixed up. It's going to cause us some problems. I know we're all tired, but let's not do that. Okay. And then the co-vertices are? Good. Okay, these are a little bit harder. We have to figure out the focus points. To do this, we're going to say c squared equals a squared, which is going to be what? What? 36. Good. Minus b squared, which is going to be? So c squared equals 20. So we're going to square root each side, and we're going to get c is approximately plus or minus. Perfect. Okay. So remember, the focus points have to be on which axis, the major or the minor? Major, and the major in this case is on the x-axis, right? It's horizontal. So we are going to say that the focus points are 4.470 and negative 4.470. What would be different if we did it vertically? Yeah, so we'd say 0, 4.47, right? Instead of 4.470. Okay, so what is the equation for number 1? Mm-hmm. Good. Perfect. Okay, we are going to skip number 2 because it's exactly the same thing except it's a vertical. But it has a center of 0, 0. I would like to do one now that has a center that's not 0, 0. It's a little higher. So we're going to move down to number 3. Okay. So let's go through each of these pieces and make sure we can write them all down before we do our equation. What is our center? 3, negative 6. Good. What are our vertices? Try again. 8. Oh, negative 2, what? Good. And? 8, negative 6. Good. Vertices are the end points of the ellipse. Okay. What are the co-vertices? 3, negative 5, and? 3, negative 7. Good. These, yeah. Yeah.
Look at, see, I'm learning.
I'm glad. If you were here yesterday, though, I wouldn't have to talk to you about that. Just pointing it out, Maya. And I get that you definitely need to go to the funeral. So let's talk about how many other days have you missed this year?
Come on now, don't look it up. Stop. Like 6 people.
I know. So I'm just talking about this quarter. 8 other days this quarter, so 7 other days this quarter.
Not that bad.
It is.
Quite good.
No, you're not supposed to miss more than 10 days in a year. Okay. So, how am I going to find C? Or the focus points? Try again. 25. There we go. Minus 1. Okay. This is good questions. So, we agree that it's horizontal, correct? So the vertices are on the x-axis, or x-ways, right? They're not on the x-axis, they're x-ways. So 3 plus what would give me negative 2? 3 plus what would give me 8? 5, correct? So 5 squared is? 25. Okay. Negative 6 plus what gives me negative 7? Right. Negative 1 squared is? 1. C squared equals 25 minus 1 is?
24.
What's the square root of 24? Plus or minus 4.9? Remember, they're on the x, so I have to add 4.9 to 3. So I'm going to go 7.9 comma negative 6 and negative 1.9 comma negative 6. So finally, what's my equation? Negative 4.9 plus 3 is negative 1.
Minus 3 squared.
Over?
Over 25.
Yep. Shh. Plus?
Y plus 6 squared. Over 1.
Yep. Equals? 1. Do I need that 1 under y plus 6 squared? No. Is it there? Is it okay? Yeah.
Is that x minus or x minus 3 squared?
Yeah. Where did I get that from? Or what does it say?
Yeah.
Okay, see this 3 right here? I just did x minus that.
Okay.
Y minus a negative makes it plus. Okay, let's turn it over.
All these markers.
Number 4. All right. Just looking at the vertices and the co-vertices, can you tell me if this is a horizontal ellipse or a vertical ellipse? Can you answer how?
Because the x is not 0.
The x's for the vertices are bigger than their y's, so it has to be horizontal. Okay, what is the center for this?
0, 0.
Good. And I know that because the vertices y is 0 and the co-vertices x is 0. Okay? So, what's A? So A squared is, there we go. What's B? So B squared is?
We forgot to put plus or minus.
Yeah, plus or minus 5. Plus or minus 2. You're right. What's the equation?
X squared over 25 plus y squared over 4 equals 1.
Questions, comments, concerns about number 4? Maya, if you're lost because you were absent, where's this great place you can go to get yesterday's notes? Do you remember what it's called? .com. All right, let's do number 7. Okay, so this is a little harder. Why? Because the center's not 0, 0, right?
Yeah.
Is it vertical or horizontal?
Vertical or vertical.
Look, 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 look.
Or horizontal because 5 is.
So we know if we're looking at just the vertices, right? What stayed the same?
5.
What changed?
The Y.
So it needs to be vertical. Okay, we need to find the center. Can you guys picture an ellipse in your head? If we think about the major axes, and I want to find the center, what would I do? So I want to find the what of the major axes to find the center. The middle. And if we ever want to use the middle, what formula should we use? The midpoint formula. Get it? Middle point formula?
Wait, so we don't have to find what C is in this part?
No. Okay. Because it just asked me for what the equation is. I promise not to move on myself. Yes. Gabby, do you need a drink of water or something? You're okay? Okay. I'm sorry. That doesn't sound fine when you say it's just be happy. You need to be able to breathe. Okay.
Can you guys look at what number stayed constant throughout both of the vertices and say it's 5, 1?
Yes.
Well, let's do it the fun way.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You can develop it though.
So,
What are you doing?
center. So, okay. Are we good? I'm just going to let you be crazy. Yeah, you can't catch us. Okay.
Develop it.
The cough is from asthma. Just be quiet.
Since Gabby is not a doctor, there's not a doctor here that can prove it, that that's what it's from, even though I'm sure she knows her own body well enough to know that it's asthma. Okay. We're going to find the center because that's actually math, and that's what class we're in right now. Okay. So, the center. We're just going to use the midpoint formula for the vertices. So I'm just going to go 5 plus 5 divided by 2 and 8 plus negative 6 divided by 2, which gives me 5, 1. Good? That's the center. Shh, focus. Okay. Now A is just a little bit harder than what we've done before. Okay? A is going to be under my Y because it's vertical. Okay, so 5 plus what gives me 11?
6.
Yes. No, that's why I'm wrong. Okay. 1 plus what gives me 8? 7. Because you're supposed to look at the... Yeah. Okay. Got it. So what's A squared?
49.
All right. B is 6. We already figured that out. So B squared is...
36.
All right. Can I write my formula now?
Yeah.
What is it?
X minus 5 squared over 36 plus x minus 1 squared over 49 equals 1.
No. X minus 5 squared
Oh, 49.
over 36. No, you're good. Plus what?
X minus 1.
Somebody help him. There we go. Y minus 1 squared over 49 equals 1. It was almost perfect, Kyle. It was so close. Okay. Just Don't write it down wrong on your test. Write it down correctly. Because I think you probably would have even written it down correct and just kept saying the wrong answer. So, but remember, you don't have to take your test out loud, so you'll be fine. All right? Any questions about this?
What if, like, cause some of the other ones, like, we've had, like, instead of one, it was, like, two something, or, you know, like.
There won't be, you'll put it in standard form each time, so there won't be something like that. Okay. So, all right, number 8. Notice what number 8 says. What do these two words say right here? Okay? They're different. All right. Is this going to be, look at just the vertices. Is this going to be a horizontal or a vertical? Horizontal, good. Okay. I can still find the center the exact same way. Right? It's just the midpoint formula for the vertices. 0 plus negative 10 over 2, and 6 plus 6 over 2. We're just going to get negative 5, 6.
Can you like say that again?
Yeah.
Right.
I just did these two added together, divided by 2. And then I did these two added together, divided by 2. It's just like, you know, when you figure out the average of something, you're like, okay, we need to split this money. Michelle has $10 that she earned waitressing. I earned 2, and we have to split the tips. So 10 plus 2 divided by 2. So we each get 6. Right? Okay. All right. What is A? Now remember, A is going to go with your vertices. We know it's horizontal, so we know it's with the x. So negative 5 plus what gives me 0? 5. So I know A squared is? Good. Now, we don't have B because we have a focus point, not a covertices. But I can find C. So what is C? I went from negative 5 to negative 8. What would that be? 3. Or negative 3. So C squared is? 9. Okay. Now once I have A and C, I can find B because I can stick it back in that formula, right? So I'm just going to go 9 equals 25 minus B squared. So I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. Negative 16 equals negative B squared. Divide by negative.
Wait, what'd you subtract both sides?
25. Come on. Basic Algebra 1, we can do this. So 16 equals B squared. Do I need to find out what B is? Does that help with the formula? You can find it. I mean, we know it's plus or minus 4, right? But you don't have to write it down because we don't need it for the formula. Besides Kyle, who can tell me the equation? Not minus, but good. Equals? There we go.
Does it
You will not get full credit.
Does it always equal 1?
If it's in standard form, it sure does. Okay, so I'm going to give you an option. Would you like to try another one like this, or would you like to try the one other way we can do it? Okay.
Let's do 11.
No. We're going to try 10 because it's slightly different because, okay, now remember this says covertices, so that's the smaller one, and the focus points.
Why can't I do 11?
No. Trust me, we want to try it this way. Okay. Is it vertical or horizontal? Vertical. Because the co-vertices are smaller and it changes the x. So that must mean it looks like this. Because the smaller one's for x. Okay. Center we can still do the same way. We're going to take the co-vertices and go 5 plus negative 5 divided by 2. 0 plus 0 divided by 2. And I get what? 0, 0. Nice. That's my center. It's always nice when it's that. What is my B? Yes. So what is my B squared? What is my C? So what is my C squared? Okay, so can I figure out my A now?
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
So how come it's not A squared or A and B? Why is it B and C?
Because it is the co-vertices. So this can be a nice thing to write down for yourself. Vertices is A, co-vertices is B, and focus points are C. Okay? So those are what each one's of these are. Okay? So I'm going to say 144 equals A squared minus 25. I'm going to add 25 to both sides. I get A squared equals 169. Do you want to know what A is, or are we good?
13.
It is. Okay, so can we make the equation? Go.
X squared over 25 plus Y squared over 169.
Good. Okay. We have time at least to do one more problem.
No.
Would you like to do 11 or 9? 11 is co-vertices and focus points. 9 is vertices and focus points. You want to do 9? Let's vote. Who wants to do 9? Who wants to do 11? Why is it even?
I would do 11.
All right, we're doing 11. Because I had 2 more people say it. Okay. And an option is not to just work on your homework, so too bad. All right. Okay, look at it carefully. Is it horizontal or vertical? Good. How am I going to figure out what the center is? What do I do? Tell me. Not 2 minus 2 divided by 2. And? And what do I get? Try again. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2, negative 1. Guys, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2.
You're all smart.
You write it wrong.
Well, and if you see 2 over 2, my automatic thought process is to go to 1 also. It's like, no. The easiest thing to mess up on is always arithmetic, right? Okay, what is B, and how did you know?
Wait, I think I know.
Okay, Maya.
Is it 4?
No.
Is it?
Okay, so see this negative 1 right here?
Yes.
Negative 1 plus what gives you 7? 8.
I thought horizontal meant that you used the X and not the Y.
No, that's only for when we're talking about vertices. What's B squared?
64.
Okay, what is C? 2 to 8.
6.
There you go. What is C squared?
36.
A number.
How am I going to figure out what A is? Okay, just don't forget to write A squared, not A, otherwise you're good. And so what does A squared equal? Good. Can I put it in my equation? Okay, Michelle and Kyle have been the only ones that have told me the equation. Anyone else want to try?
I would tell you, but everybody else started answering before, so I don't know.
X,
What about me?
X minus squared
Over?
100 plus Y plus 1 squared over 64 equals 1.
Beautiful. All right, now you may work on your homework.